Oh, exotic. What's this? The heck is this? Another one in the same run. Wow. I can't make this up. Well, look at you. Nice. I'll take that. Time for a video. Hello, agents. This is Prajna, and welcome back to another Tom Clancy's The Division 2 video. Many of you guys have been asking how to farm exotics, like what is the fastest way? Well, while it's certainly much easier to get exotics now than ever before, farming for the exotic you need is where things may get a bit tricky. So here's the thing, exotics can drop from a variety of means, including completing challenging missions, participating in special events, engaging in PvP activities, or simply finding them as random drops from defeated enemies or loot containers. So I'm going to be showing you guys some fast ways to farm for exotics. Whether you're looking for the St. Elmo's engine, Eagle Bearer, or Lady Death, by the end of this video, you're gonna be set with the knowledge to attain any exotic you need. Also, I'll be giving you guys some tips and tricks on farming XP and gear fast, so stick around till the end of the video because trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss out on this. So let's get started. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that depending on your desired goal, you may want to farm either exotic components or exotic weapons or gear. Exotic components are a super valuable resource that you can attain from completing various daily and weekly projects. So with that being said, if you would like to farm for exotic components, then you may also have a chance to attain them from Dark Zone crates or Control Point crates. However, it's important to note that if you decide to farm exotic components in the Dark Zone, then you're just asking to get your ass kicked. I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. But all jokes aside, it's important to note that only the crates with the SHD symbol will drop exotic components, not the crates with the yellow stain on them, so you can ignore these. Now, control points, on the other hand, are another great opportunity to attain exotic components. Once you clear a control point, you can enter the settlement and open these orange crates with a chance of getting an exotic component. The benefits of farming exotic components this way is, well, for one, you won't have to deal with annoying rogue agent players in the Dark Zone like me trying to bully you. Yep, I'm totally beaming you if I see you in there. I'm kidding. But it's actually better to farm exotics in the open world, and this is because of targeted loot. So if you pull up your map, toggle targeted loot, bam, you can now see what drops where. So now, let's say you need the St. Elmo's engine or the Chameleon, and assault rifles happen to be a targeted loot in an area with lots of control points, public execution, and propaganda. Well, in this scenario, you're in luck because you can farm these activities, and since the targeted loot is assault rifles, this narrows the loot pool down, and you will have a much greater chance of getting either the Chameleon capacitor or the St. Elmo's engine to drop for you. This also works for gear as well. For example, if you'd like to farm for a Ridgeway chess piece, then find an area where chess piece is the targeted loot. In addition, if you'd like to farm for the Ninja bike bag, then find an area where backpacks are the targeted loot. You get what I mean? So check this out, guys. Farming public execution is a great way to farm XP at the moment, just in case you didn't know, right? Now, what you can do is, if let's say this area over here, southwest, let's imagine assault rifles is the targeted loot for the day over here, right? Oh, and this will work for any activity, whether it be propaganda or territory control. It doesn't matter. But anyway, now there are two public executions that spawn here frequently. So what you can do is farm these public executions on repeat, right? And when you're done, if you go into your map and reset all control points, it will reset the public execution as well. And there is nothing special about this public execution, by the way. In case you're wondering, I only chose this particular one because it's near a location that you can fast travel to. So with that being said, if by some reason these two public executions don't respawn after resetting control points a few times, you can try to find other public executions that are close to a location you can fast travel to. The closer, the better. Because, as you may already know, you cannot fast travel to these activities, so you'd be saving yourself leg cramps and frustration having to run a marathon each time you reset. Like, look how close this propaganda is to the Air and Space Museum mission, right? Once you spawn, the NPCs will practically be breathing down your neck before you can even get out the loading screen. So this is a no BS farm spot. Also, just keep in mind that these public executions may not spawn each time that you reset. In this scenario, just keep resetting it because it will spawn on a majority of the time. To get more out of this method, I recommend having at least 3 directives on and setting the world difficulty to nothing lower than challenging. In fact, running on challenging will be more time efficient. You may also want to consider activating the global event if there is one ongoing during the time of you watching this video. Having the golden bullet global event for this farming method would be like waking up on Christmas morning, as you will be blazing through NPCs super fast. The difference in the amount of XP you get from heroic as opposed to challenging is like pennies. Not worth it, well, in my opinion at least. So you're better off setting the difficulty to challenging for time efficiency. But yeah, activate the global event if you have that option while doing this. Not only will it be faster, but you will also be getting global event credits, which you can use to buy exotic caches and other items from the vendor just outside the White House. Now let's talk about this next method of farming exotics, which is hands down the best in my opinion. But when I say the best way, I'm talking about if you are in dire need of a specific exotic. And you're like, to hell with waiting for the targeted loot to reset, I want the St. Elmo's engine today. Well, you're in luck because you can run the Pencto Fairview Power Plant mission, aka Countdown. This mission, as well as the Summit, will allow you to select a specific targeted loot. Summit is good too, but for me, it's boring as hell. However, you may find that it works for you better than Countdown. And what I mean by this is that Summit is a better option if you would like to XP farm while still farming for exotics. This is because you can add directives as well as change the difficulty to legendary if you're brave enough. So whatever option you choose, just make sure to select your targeted loot. Also, if you decide to run Countdown, just make sure you have plenty of space in your inventory. This is because you will be getting a crap ton of loot. Like, you will be drowning in loot. This mission is the real paradise loot. Countdown? No. Loot down is what it needs to be called. Seriously, 2 runs of Countdown will have you in the White House clearing your inventory out for several minutes. Loot all over the place. Loot here, loot there, loot everywhere. Nothing but loot. But most of it will probably be hot trash. Let's just face it. Keep in mind that this game's RNG system isn't the best, and I know it may be frustrating for many of you exotic seekers not having any luck on exotic drops, but never give up, as cheesy as that sounds. So anyway, with that being said, the general rule of thumb would be no more than 3 runs through Countdown, 2 minimum. Take a break and try again later. When I got those 2 exotics at the beginning of the video, they dropped for me on my first run, so just focus on having fun, and I promise you'll get more exotic drops. You'll be thanking me later. So there you have it, guys. Out of the numerous ways to acquire exotics, farming control points, public executions, and propaganda in the open world is a great option for newer players who will not only be benefiting from farming exotics, but also from leveling their watch extremely fast, since they will be getting tons of XP with having directives added. Countdown and Summit are better if you just need a more specific piece of gear, since you can select your targeted loot with these 2 missions. This gives you a bit more control, helping you narrow down the RNG, which will result in you having a greater chance of getting the piece you need. This is Prajna. Don't forget to slash the like button, and if you made it to the end of the video, you're a special star and an amazing person. Thank you so much for watching, and like always, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. Keep it cool, keep it classy, peace out.